Aaron, for the most part, you guys have been playing clean all-around baseball to start the year. 2 errors tonight, offense a little quiet. Just overall, what do you make of tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the story was, we just didn't score when we had a chance to, kind of throw a knockout punch there early, get two and make it real tough on Sevy, but just couldn't break through, and then they held us down. So, just one of those nights where, just didn't do enough, especially in the second half of the game offensively.
In that final inning, did you consider using Wells at all?
I did.
Ultimately, why did you?
Just felt good with the guys there. Kunal, I liked our lefties against them, so I considered him for Rosie there, but ultimately decided not to. And
with Will Warren, what were you seeing from him tonight?
Man, I thought he was good, sharp again, and then they strung some. It's a good offense over there. They strung some really good at bats against them, kind of starting with Butler on down and coming back around the next time. I thought he did a good job through the middle there to potentially get out of that fifth inning, but So overall, I thought it was pretty good. They made him work there in that fourth and fifth quite a bit to drive up the pitch count a little bit on him. But in the end, 2 runs and gave us a chance to win a baseball game there. So overall, pretty good.
Bill,
after the first inning, what made Sevy so good?
I mean, he's got great stuff, and he didn't flinch. That's one of those areas sometimes guys can fold a little bit there, especially here we get it rolling. But credit to him, he buckled down. He didn't give in at all. He was able to work around some walks, but ultimately we just couldn't get that big hit tonight to finish it.
Meredith and Bob.
Aaron, it was kind of tough to see, but did you feel like Blake said something warranted to get thrown out there?
No.
What happened there?
Just not much of anything.
Bob.
Aaron, I know we talked about this earlier, but what are you seeing from McMahon, and what is it going to take to get him going?
Yeah, I mean, Mac's a good major league hitter. It's 10 games in. Okay, I mean, he's scuffling right now, but the reality is the last 3 games he's been on base 4 times too, with walks and hits and big at bats So, it's, we want him to improve even who he's been obviously in his career, and he's off to a slow start right now, but a number of our guys are as well. So, he'll get it rolling and trust that he will, especially against some of these good right-handed matchups.
Gary.
Another small sample size here, but Bednar's fastball velocity has been a bit down so far this season. Any cause for concern there?
He's been consistently kind of that mid-90s. Look, this is a stretch where he's thrown a lot of pitches. So, he obviously had the 2 games where, he threw up over 70 pitches in a 4-game stretch. So that, he left the split up a little bit to Kurtz. And then probably didn't get the ball in quite enough to Langoliers, who I actually thought put a really good swing on that pitch, probably just up above the zone. And then he makes pitches to, get a big out in Soderstrom there. Credit to Rooker for, getting one in the air against him, and then he finishes off Wilson. So, I think once we get rolling into this, he'll be fine. Obviously this time it's very cold, so sometimes guys tick up and down with their heaters, but nothing I'm concerned about.
Ron.
What was your evaluation of McMahon at shortstop, and do you see him out there like once a week or so till Volpe's back?
Yeah, I thought he looked great. He had a number of really good plays, a couple of tough chances too that he made look pretty routine. He had 4 or 5 balls probably to him, and a couple of them were challenging, so I thought he did a nice job.
Cody, you guys had opportunity there, putting up 2 in the first inning, but then Severino really seemed to settle in. Just what was different about his stuff as he went on?
Yeah, we did a good job of attacking early, and then, really he shut us down. I mean, he was high velocity with a bunch of different pitches, and then, he mixed really well with his off speed, and, just couldn't scratch another few runs off him there.
That seventh inning, you seemed particularly frustrated after that at bat with 2 runners on there, and obviously needing to score. Was there something in particular within that at bat that frustrated you, or just the situation?
I felt like I was seeing the ball well. He did a good job of pitching, and ultimately I tried to foul that pitch off. I felt like it was a good pitch, and it was a good pitch. He threw it well, and it missed my barrel. So obviously late in the game, you want to come through there, and I just wasn't able to do it.